So Andrew Cuomo is once again in the news, the governor of New York. Now, I covered this pretty extensively back when it happened, but there were a bunch of allegations that came out against Cuomo. There were a lot of things that were boxing him in. He had the whole senior scandal when it came to coronavirus. Then it came with, some of the other stuff that he lied about with coronavirus. And then now what you have is sexual harassment allegations against him. He had also done a very Trumpian thing in that he tried obstructing justice by choosing the prosecutor, the investigator who would investigate him. So that was a whole other scandal in and of itself. But he's back in the news now because Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, came out with a report that says that he did indeed sexually harass I believe a few women. There were multiple women who had came out with allegations. And so now everybody is once again calling on him to resign. People had already called on him to resign last time, but I've never seen anything like this. Literally everybody in his party, essentially, that I could think of called on him to resign. Now Joe Biden, even the president of the United States, called on him to resign. But he is refusing. He's refusing to resign. I can't believe he actually survived all of the backlash that came and all of the attacks against him that came last time. He just refused to resign because typically what happens is once your own allies, your colleagues, your party members in wherever you are, the Senate, the House, wherever it is, right? If you're in the House and Nancy Pelosi calls on you to resign, you're usually screwed. You basically have to resign at that point. That's what happened to Al Franken. So once that happens is usually when you're done for. But this is a weird case where that just didn't happen. And so now, like I said, Joe Biden, President of the United States, called on Andrew Cuomo to resign, but he's still refusing to resign. So now there are impeachment calls against him. So this is an update on The Guardian. There's a majority of members in the New York State Assembly support starting impeachment proceedings against Governor Andrew Cuomo if he continues to refuse to resign, an AP count found. The AP reports at least 82 of the body's 150 members have said publicly or told the AP that they favored initiating the process of ousting the third-term Democratic governor if he doesn't quit. A simple majority of Assembly members is needed to authorize an impeachment trial. Assembly Democrats who lead the chamber debated virtually for hours Tuesday about whether to impeach the governor now, wait to see whether he resigns, or give the Assembly Judiciary Committee time to wrap up its wide-ranging investigation into topics from sexual misconduct to the Cuomo administration's months-long obfuscation of the total number of nursing home residents who died from COVID-19. At least 40 of the Assembly members who say they are ready to start impeachment proceedings are Democrats. If the Assembly votes to impeach Cuomo, the state Senate could launch an impeachment trial in weeks, Deputy Majority Leader Mike Gianaris told the Associated Press. So it's basically, the state level is essentially the same as the federal level and the president and federal Congress. The governor in this case is the president of New York, essentially. And so then you got the Congress. And so for Congress can impeach the governor, of course, the state Congress can. All it takes, like you see in the House, is a simple majority for the House to actually impeach the president. In the federal House, in this case, it's the state, so it's impeaching the governor. But then I think you'd have to get 2/3. I don't know if you would actually have to get 2/3 or not, is actually the thing. It would be 2/3. So it would be 2/3 of the court, so you'd have to get 2/3 of the state Senate to vote him out. That's always the tough part. Getting that 67% is difficult because that's just such a massive majority that it's very rare that happens. It's not really rare that, super impossible for a president to get impeached. That's usually kind of easy, actually. You usually have the numbers. But getting them out in the Senate is really fucking hard. So hopefully he just resigns. Just get out, leave. He's holding on to this so hard. He doesn't have anybody left to support him. But there's even more, investigations that are going to start or something like that. And there may even be criminal charges against him at this point. So, he's probably looking for the protection, obviously, that comes with being governor. But this guy is a clown. He's a piece of shit. He's a terrible governor. So I am glad to see this corporate, sellout douchebag, hopefully finally be ousted, man. Just resign already, man.